Hello friends, welcome to my channel Quiz and Storyline. Today, we will talk about something special. If you haven't watched the first part, please check it out using the link in the description. 9 years ago, Celine and Jesse met on a night in the streets of Vienna. They became so close that they promised to meet again at the same station after 6 months. However, 9 years have passed, and they haven't met again. They did not exchange any contact details, address, or phone numbers, so they were never able to reconnect. Over these 9 years, their lives have changed significantly, but the memories of that night remain vivid in their minds. Jesse, in particular, is emotionally connected to that night, and the moments are still fresh in his memory. Jesse wrote a novel about the experiences of that night with Celine, which became a bestseller in the United States. Today, Jesse is a well-known personality and has come to Paris for his book promotion. Reporters are asking him what will happen in the next book and whether he and Celine will meet again. Jesse responds to the reporters that to answer these questions, one will have to wait for the second book. Meanwhile, Jesse notices a girl in the crowd who is looking at him. As he takes a closer look, he realizes it's Celine. Seeing her after 9 years, he is overjoyed and immediately goes over to her. Celine says, "Your book has become very popular, congratulations." Jesse, surprised, asks, "How did you know I was here?" Celine replies, "I've read your book and you've become very famous. Your news is always on TV, so I knew you would be coming to Paris today. That's why I came here." The love they once had for each other is still visible in their eyes, even though they have not met since that night. 9 years have passed, but they haven't been able to forget each other. They decide to go to a nearby park since Jesse has a flight soon and needs to leave. They start walking towards the park through the same streets they walked 9 years ago. Along the way, Celine asks Jesse, "Did you come on December 16th?" Jesse replies, "No." Hearing this, Celine breathes a sigh of relief and says, "It's good that you didn't come. My grandmother passed away that day, so I couldn't come either. If you had come that day and waited for me, I would never have been able to forgive myself." They continue walking in silence, with many questions swirling in their minds. Amid these questions, Celine asks Jesse, "It was because of my grandmother, but why didn't you come?" Jesse's expression changes immediately, and he doesn't know how to answer. At that moment, Celine realizes that perhaps he did come that day. To confirm her thought, Celine asks Jesse, "Does this mean you really did come that day?" Jesse softly replies, "Yes, I waited for you until the evening. When it got dark, I figured you wouldn't come. Before leaving the station, I wrote my number on the wall so that if you came the next day, you would find it, and we could reconnect." Hearing this, Celine's heart fills up, and she says, "I always wanted to come. I don't know what you must have thought about me during these 9 years." Jesse replies, "But now I know the truth. There was a specific reason for your not coming. If we had exchanged numbers that night, we might have been able to meet again." As they talk, they arrive at a restaurant. Jesse asks Celine, "What are you doing now?" Celine replies, "I am associated with an NGO where we work on environmental issues. I even went to India for this. Jesse shares, I got married 5 years ago and now have a 4-year-old son. Both their lives have completely changed, and they have accepted their current situations. Then Jesse asks Celine, why haven't you gotten married? Celine says, no, I haven't gotten married. But I am dating a guy who is a photographer and is currently in India. As they talk, they leave the restaurant and reach the edge of the sea. Jesse asks Celine why couples are never happy. Celine finds this question strange and replies, why are you asking this question? Jesse explains, the chemistry we had that night, I have always tried to find it in my wife, but I was never able to. I don't know why that is, and I know it's not my wife's fault. Now I am just maintaining my relationships, it's my responsibility, and that's what I am doing. Saying this, Jesse becomes a bit troubled and asks Celine again, why didn't you come that night? Celine replies, maybe if I had come, things wouldn't have been as we had imagined. Perhaps our chemistry wouldn't have remained the same as it was that night. Then they both board a boat heading towards Celine's home. Jesse asks on the boat, are there limits to human desires? Celine responds, desires make us human. I have many desires myself. I want to work on environmental issues and I love playing the guitar. These things define me. Jesse tells her, a few years ago, I met a monk who had joy on his face and peace in his heart because he had no desires. Monks accept life as it is and move forward. Celine does not completely agree with this. Upon getting off the boat, Jesse's driver arrives as his flight time is approaching. Jesse says, I'll drop you off at home. This might be our last meeting. In the car, Jesse asks Celine, are you happy with your life? After a moment of silence, Celine says, I still haven't forgotten that night. I have met many people, but I have never felt the way I felt with you. You had this rule that we wouldn't exchange numbers. Love is very important in my life, and if I can't love someone, then marriage has no purpose. That's why I haven't married till today. Hearing this, Jesse becomes sad. Jesse apologizes to Celine for not meeting her. He says that if he had exchanged numbers, they might have been together today. Jesse arrives at Celine's house and says he wants to listen to her song. Celine had written a song, and Jesse is eager to hear it. Celine warns him that he might miss his flight, but Jesse insists he will manage. Once at Celine's home, she plays the song for him on her guitar. The song is about the night they spent together on the streets. Listening to it, Jesse becomes emotional and realizes that Celine still loves him. They should have been together, but now their lives are very different. Jesse has a successful career and a family but is not satisfied with his wife and family. Celine and Jesse first met in 1994, and now it's 2003, 9 years later. Fast forward to 2013, we see Celine and Jesse in a car. They are married with 2 daughters and are very happy with their family. However, Jesse always feels uneasy about not spending enough time with his son. Although his son is in Chicago during the holidays, he has to return after they end. After dropping his son at the airport, Jesse comes out, where Celine is waiting for him. They drive home together. Celine now has a government job, while Jesse has become a renowned writer. He has everything but always regrets not spending enough time with his son. Jesse had divorced his first wife, but it was not because of Celine. He was never happy with his first wife. Even if this day had not happened, he would have divorced her because he was unhappy. Now he is with Celine and happy with his daughters, but he still feels the deep sorrow of not being able to spend time with his son. Celine, who wanted love and to marry someone she could love, has found everything she desired. Yet, they still struggle to spend quality time together because they mostly spend time with their daughters. When their daughters are on school vacation, they go to Grace with their family, where their friends are also present. Their friends want them to spend quality time together, so they have booked a hotel room for them to have some private time. Now, they head towards the hotel room to spend time together. Celine is astonished to learn that her grandfather passed away at 90 and had a relationship with her grandmother that lasted for 74 years. She wonders if it's truly possible for people to love each other for such a long time. Jesse responds that relationships continue over time, they don't automatically fade away. Being with each other makes them lose track of time. Celine agrees with him. They then arrive at the hotel, where they meet a couple who know Jesse well. The couple asks for his autograph, which Jesse gives. They also ask Celine for an autograph. Although she hasn't written a book, she agrees when they learn that her story is in the book. They then reach their hotel room and find themselves very close, having not had such an opportunity in a long time. Suddenly, the phone rings, and Celine answers it. It's Jesse's son calling to check in. After a brief conversation, Celine tells him to take care before ending the call. When she returns to Jesse, he says she should have talked more with his son, as he is always worried about not spending enough time with him. Celine responds that she hasn't said anything wrong to his son. Jesse explains that he married Celine, leaving everything behind, but Celine tells him not to show her gratitude as she never asked him to leave everything. Angrily, she leaves the hotel room but returns shortly, saying she has made many sacrifices to live with Jesse. Jesse suggests they should visit his son for a few days to spend time with his family. Celine, more angry, says she is always the one making sacrifices. When their daughters were born, Jesse was out promoting his novel while Celine took care of the children. Now, her name is always mentioned in his novels, but from now on, she wants her name to be excluded from any story. Celine declares that she is ending their relationship as his wife and leaves the hotel room with her bag. Jesse sits alone in the hotel room for a while before going out to find Celine. He locates her sitting in a restaurant and sits down next to her. Jesse tries to convince Celine to reconcile by claiming he is a time traveler from the future. Jesse explains that from the time he has come from, Celine is 80 years old. At that age, Celine has written a letter to her 40-year-old self, saying that she was very beautiful at 40. Celine reacts by questioning whether this means she won't be beautiful or attractive when she reaches 80. Jesse tries to reassure her, but when she remains unconvinced, he completely gives up. He says that it's not just Celine who has made sacrifices, his son also seeks his father's love. Jesse has left everything to spend time with Celine, but if she doesn't want to go to the place where his son lives, they will find another way. If Celine feels there is no love between them and that their relationship should end, he will accept that. Hearing this, Celine remains silent for a while before starting to cry. She realizes that true love and the meaning of life is to love each other, fight, argue, and complain, but despite everything, staying with the person you love. She understands that the love she always wanted is indeed with Jesse. She acknowledges that Jesse's son needs him, and she must accept this reality. Now, she is fully prepared to spend her life with Jesse. She has come to understand that the type of person she has always been searching for is Jesse. She realizes that if there is love in a person's life, it doesn't necessarily mean it will provide happiness 24 hours a day. Love doesn't just mean loving someone, it also involves fighting, arguments, teasing, and complaints, as these are all facets of love. Together, they create the essence of love. I request you to help us reach 10,000 subscribers on our channel soon. We hope you will enjoy this video and give it a like. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for your love-filled comments. See you in the next video.